What if the reason you're still living paycheck to paycheck isn't your income? What if it's your system? Most people think they need to earn more to fix their financial stress. So they chase promotions, side hustles, overtime. But even when the income increases, the stress doesn't disappear. The bills still feel heavy. The savings still feel small. Because the real problem isn't how much you make. It's how your money is managed the moment it hits your account. In this video, I'm going to break down a budgeting system that actually works, one that gives every dollar a purpose, prepares you for real life, and helps you finally stop feeling behind. Let's be honest. Most people don't fail at budgeting because they're bad with numbers. They fail because they misunderstand what a budget is supposed to do. For many, budgeting feels restrictive. It feels like a punishment. It feels like cutting out everything enjoyable just to survive until the next paycheck. So they try once, feel overwhelmed, and eventually give up. Then the cycle repeats. Money comes in, money goes out, and there's always that lingering question, where did it all go? But what if budgeting isn't about restriction at all? What if it's actually about control, clarity, and freedom? In this video, we're breaking down a smarter way to think about budgeting, one that doesn't rely on guilt or unrealistic rules, but instead gives every dollar direction, prepares you for real life, and helps you stop living paycheck to paycheck for good. Think of a budget like a GPS for your money. If you get in a car without directions, you might eventually reach a destination, but you'll probably waste time, fuel, and energy along the way. The same is true with money. Without a budget, you're reacting instead of planning. Bills surprise you. Annual expenses feel like emergencies. Holidays create stress instead of joy. You're constantly adjusting after the fact instead of preparing in advance. A strong budget changes that. It gives you visibility before decisions are made. It tells your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. And most importantly, it aligns your daily spending with your long-term goals. Budgeting isn't about tracking every penny obsessively. It's about intention. When you assign purpose to your money, you remove chaos from the equation. One of the most powerful principles in budgeting is simple. Every dollar should have a job. When income hits your account, it shouldn't just sit there waiting to be spent randomly. Each dollar needs direction. Some dollars pay rent. Some cover groceries. Some go toward savings. Some reduce debt. Some are meant for fun. But they all need assignment. This mindset shifts you from passive spending to active planning. Instead of spending first and saving what's left, which often ends up being nothing, you prioritize your goals. Upfront debt. When every dollar has a role, spending becomes clearer. You're not guessing whether you can afford something. You already know because you've decided in advance where your money belongs. And here's the key. Giving every dollar a job doesn't mean spending every dollar immediately. It means allocating it with purpose, including allocating some of it to sit in savings and wait. One of the biggest mistakes people make is budgeting only for monthly bills. Rent, utilities, subscriptions, those are predictable. But life is bigger than monthly cycles. Car repairs happen. Birthdays happen. Holidays happen. Insurance renewals happen. These aren't surprises. They're simply expenses that don't occur every month. The problem is when we treat them like emergencies. A smarter budgeting system embraces what are called true expenses. Instead of waiting for a $600 car repair to shock your bank account, you break that expense into manageable monthly pieces. You might set aside $50 per month into a car maintenance category. Over time, that fund grows quietly in the background. When the repair finally happens, it's not a crisis. It's planned. This approach transforms financial stress into financial stability. It acknowledges reality instead of pretending unexpected costs don't exist. Life changes constantly. Income fluctuates, unexpected opportunities arise. Emergencies happen. A rigid budget that cannot adapt will eventually break. That's why flexibility is essential. If you overspend in one category, it doesn't mean you failed. It simply means you need to adjust. Maybe you move money from dining out to cover a higher grocery bill. Maybe you reduce entertainment spending to handle a temporary increase in utilities. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is awareness and adjustment. Budgets should evolve with your life. Promotions, new jobs, family changes, or new goals should all be reflected in your financial plan. A healthy budget is dynamic, not fixed in stone. Perhaps the most transformative principle is learning to age your money. Most people spend money as soon as it arrives. They depend on the next paycheck to cover upcoming bills. This creates constant pressure. One delay or unexpected cost can throw everything off balance. A stronger system builds a buffer. The idea is simple. Use money you earned last month to pay this month's expenses. When you're no longer relying on income that hasn't arrived yet, stress decreases dramatically. Building this buffer doesn't happen overnight. It starts small. Maybe you cover a few days ahead, then a week, then eventually an entire month. Over time, the psychological shift is profound. Instead of chasing money, you're ahead of it. For freelancers, entrepreneurs, or commission-based workers, budgeting can feel even more complicated. Income isn't predictable. Some months are strong, others are slow. The key here is averaging and stabilization. Rather than budgeting based on your highest earning month, you calculate a conservative average. During strong months, excess income is saved to cushion slower months. This creates balance. Instead of letting income volatility dictate your stress levels, you create consistency within inconsistency. It's not about earning the same amount every month. It's about building a system that smooths out the fluctuations. Budgeting isn't just math. It's emotional. Many people carry guilt about past spending mistakes. Others avoid checking their bank accounts because it creates anxiety. Some overspend to cope with stress or boredom. Ignoring these emotional patterns makes budgeting harder. Financial improvement begins with awareness, not shame. Mistakes are data points, not identity labels. When you understand your triggers, whether it's impulse shopping or avoidance, you can design systems that protect you from yourself. Automation, category limits, and regular check-ins can help reduce emotional decision-making. Money becomes less about reaction and more about intention. Modern apps and AI-driven financial tools can simplify budgeting significantly. They categorize transactions, highlight spending trends, and even suggest adjustments. But tools are assistants, not replacements for strategy. No app can decide your priorities. No algorithm knows what matters most in your life. Technology can organize data, but you must define the mission. The most effective approach combines smart tools with clear personal goals. When you know what you're building toward, whether it's debt freedom, travel, security, or early retirement, tools simply make the process easier. Budgeting isn't something you set up once and forget. It's a habit. The goal isn't short-term perfection. It's long-term consistency. Each month you refine. Each adjustment strengthens your awareness. Each small win builds confidence. Over time, the chaos fades. You begin to feel in control. Emergency funds grow. Debt shrinks. Opportunities expand. And perhaps most importantly, money stops being a constant source of stress. At its core, budgeting is not about restriction. It's about clarity. It's about telling your money where to go. It's about preparing for reality instead of fearing it. It's about building space between you and financial stress when you give every dollar a job. Prepare for true expenses. Stay flexible and build a buffer. You move from survival mode to strategy mode. You stop living paycheck to paycheck. And you start building a life where money supports your goals instead of controlling them.